Now let's go ahead and do for this other side here also. But first of all, let's start with this because this is kind of protruding. So if I should give it the same distance of 500, it should be kind of this, okay? Or okay, let's start from here. So I'm just change the measurement. So let's do the same thing we have in here, right? So instead of us giving it 500, we can just give it, let's say, 800. I think 800 is still okay, right? Okay, let's just continue. Let's see. Or is 800 too okay? I think it's still okay. So the internal measurement here is 3000. Should we just go ahead and do for each of these also, since we are dealing with everything one by one? Okay, let's come here and trace it out. We're having this from here to here also. We're having this, and then from here to our wall here, right? Since this is where you're stopping, we're having this also. Then we'll continue. It does not affect anything. So we'll trace this out and trace this also. I want to get our point, right? So this is the point here. And then we'll do the same for here also, between here, right? And then here. Okay, good to go for 50. And then also for our window here, we're having here. And then from here also, trace it out. We're having our point, right? And the same thing go for this part here also. We're having the same thing. Okay, we are good to go. So we just need to adjust each of these, right? Just bring it to the middle here. This also. So I think though they're just kind of overlapping, but that's not an issue. You can either leave it like that or bring it down, right? But to make everything align, I'll just go ahead and bring them down to make everything the same thing. And yeah, we're good to go. So the next one is for us to get the total measurement now, right? The total measurement from here to here now, which is the total measurement here also. And then we're having 1000, though that's not compulsory since we are already having it in here. Already having it here, but I'll just kind of do that. I think 1000 is overlapping on this, so let's just move everything up to distance of 200. Let's see, okay, we are good to go. We are left with this side and the internal measurements now. After doing the external part, we'll now go ahead to do the dimensioning for the internal component also, right? So to do that, let's start. Let's continue. Come here and then select our dimension from here to here. We are having this. Let's just kind of give it something somewhere around here. I think that's okay. And then let's continue. We're having this. Stopping here. This also. Yeah, okay. We're having this here. Right. We're having here also. And then our door here. Right. And then finally our column. Right. So let's just adjust this. And then okay, we not do for this end here. Let's create a dimension for this end here also. And to do that, let's just select it and then let's trace this out. Okay, and then let's fix it. Okay, so we're good to go. And then for the total dimension, so let's just start from here since this is where our, and we can also leave it since we are also having it up there, right? We can also leave it. So let's just guess this. Our total dimension, give it 200. Yeah, I think 200 is too. Let's increase it a little bit. 100. Uh, and 100. Okay. Okay. So now that we are done with, okay, we should have done the same thing here also. Now that we are done with our dimension, external dimension, we'll now go ahead and start with the internal dimension. Let me just fix this also. Let's fix this. It should be starting from here also. Yeah. Okay. Right. And we'll just go ahead and edit this, dragging this here. So you see, as I'm dragging it, the dimension is changing. Right. Coming. Sorry. Okay. So now you're having this. It's now correlating with the one below. Okay, and you're good to go. Now let's go ahead and start giving the dimension for the internal, our internal walls, right? So to do that, just the same method also from here. Let's just fix it. And here, let's reduce it a little bit. I think it's kind of too high. Let's say here. Okay. Now, now this time around, we cannot say we want to continue, right? Since it will just continue from the exact point and we don't want that. So what you can just do is to just go back to reselect it. But instead of us going back there to reselect it, you can just continue to press enter to bring back a previous command or space bar. It's the same thing. To bring back the previous command and escape to terminate the command. So I'll just go ahead and press my enter. It will bring back the dimension command and I'll give this and then I'll make them equal to each other. I'll place them on the same level, right? Do the same thing here also on the same level here, right? And then this also. So that's for the horizontal part. Now for the vertical, I'll do the same thing here also. Can just go ahead, bring it here. But let me reduce it a little bit. I think it's kind of too high. Okay. Now I'll do the same thing here also for my toilets. And then let me just drop it here. Now I can either do, if I like, I can either do it for the other toilet and the bedroom too, or I should leave it since I've done it for one, right? I've done it and they are the same length, they're the same measurement. This also, I can leave it and I can also do it. But I'll be leaving for the toilet and I will do for the other bedroom. Since the toilet are the same height also, I'll just go ahead and do only for my bedroom. And then we're good to go. So now let's go ahead and do for the rest of the components, right? We're having this, sorry. Do you now see that our measurements are now correlating with what we are having in the sketch, right? Our measurements are correlating because we followed what was in the sketch, right? If I'm not mistaken, yeah, we followed the sketch to be able to make our drawing. So the same thing goes for here also. And you know the terrace and the dining, I think, are of the same length, right? So I can just leave that also. And then what's next? Our kitchen, right? So the same method from here, do the same thing here also. Now let's increase this a little bit. Let's take it up. Yeah, good to go. Now this also, now mind you, we are dealing with internal measurement, right? Don't go and make the mistake of selecting an external boundary, right? Since we are dealing with our internal measurements. So to get it accurately, all right? So let's do the visitor's toilets. Let's just leave this here. And then this also. Let me reduce this a little bit because they are kind of overlapping. Okay, I think it's okay like this. And then we'll do the same for this external terrace here also. And then now look at something now. You know, I said it earlier before we started that some things might change, right? Some things might change. Now, if we should look at the measurement for this our terrace now, it's kind of different. It's a little bit different from what we are having in the sketch. Right? In the sketch, we are having 4,800, but here now we are having 5,030. Now it has kind of changed a little bit because we followed the measurement we have. You know, I said if you truly want to follow the measurement you place here, some things might change. Now, look at this measurement now, it has kind of changed, though it does not affect anything in the design, right? It does not affect this. Possibly, probably the living room also might change. That's why I'm coming back to do it last. The living room might also change, right? But let's just continue. I'm sorry. Let's just continue. Let's do the dimension for the lobby. Let's do that from here to here. We're having 970. Is it not kind of too small? No, it's not too small. At least it's the measurement of a door, right? It's not too small. It's more or less it's just a little bit higher than the measurement of a door, right? So it's not too small. It's still okay. Yeah, it's okay like that. Not too small. So let us just get the measurement here also. We're having 2,630. So now let's move it. Okay. Now let's now do the measurement of our living room. Now our living room now we are having 6,460, right? But in the measurement here that we are having in the sketch here, if we should add up the length of our visitor toilet and terrace together, we should be having around 6,000, right? But now we've added now the accurate measurement that is giving us an addition of 460, right? So that's part of the little changes that might occur. Let's go ahead and check for the length here also. This is where our internal wall is stopping at. So just go ahead and select it. You see this also now is increasing a little bit with a measurement of 230. In this case, we're having 6,000, right? But here it's giving us 230, 6,230. So that's not an issue since it's not changing any major component in our plan, right? So we are still good to go. And now that's all we have to do to get our texts and our dimension. Now let me just go ahead and bring back the hatches. Let's bring back the hatches, okay? And now, so here is our design. And then we can also decide to, okay, let me just give it some kind of design taste or everything. But we'll come back to that later. Come back to that later. Let's not rush into that now. At least we've achieved our aim of labeling our plan and giving it the required dimensions, right? So in the next video, we'll learn how to bring in our furnitures,